Call this committee of the whole meeting to order. City of International Falls. It's 4 p.m. on Monday, September 8th. Let's say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All members are present. We'll move to old business. First with Sherry Stensland, Human Resources and Safety Director. Good afternoon.
Hello, again. Employment-related updates. 7 of the 9 summer staff are done, so 2 are staying on for the time being, assisting with lawn mowing and other duties. And I continue to track their day's work as per the contract. So we have received 4 applications for the Parks and Facilities Assistant job. And I will review those with the department on Monday. And I did get posted internally that maintenance worker equipment operator position, and that I will take down tomorrow and then review with the department, how they'd like to proceed based on who signed that posting. Under employee-related updates, I am having ongoing discussions with the union regarding the geotab preventive maintenance program, so that's still in process. I am coordinating with the Minnesota State Retirement Services for a plan rep to do a site visit. They'll be here Tuesday, September 23rd, to meet with any employees who'd like to sign up for that. So, the other thing, in your packet, you should have the RFP from the life insurance that the city is required to do every 5 years. So basically, we got 2 viable RFPs back. One was for Sun Life, one was for Lincoln. Yes, Lincoln. They offered very comparable bids, so the rates were the same for 2 years. They both guaranteed the rates for 2 years. They kept the guaranteed issue amounts of 100 to 25. 100 for employees and 25,000 for spouses. So that remains the same. And they both agreed to increase the maximum coverage amount for employees from 300 to 500, and for the spouse from 150 to 250. So up to that point, they're the same. The only difference is that Lincoln did agree to offer one-time full open enrollment plan takeover. However, I think the important thing to remember with that is anything above the guarantee issue still requires evidence of insurability. So that doesn't mean employees are going to be able to go over that 150 amount that they currently have if they had elected that. They're still going to have to do the evidence of insurability regardless. My recommendation would be to stay with Sun Life. We offer the benefits open enrollment annually. People can go above that amount at that point with the evidence of insurability. I get very few figures on it. So, and we've had really good service through Sun Life. So I'm requesting to move that to the city council meeting on Monday, that we move forward with Sun Life.
Thank you, Sherry. Is there a motion to move the life insurance to the city council meeting on next Monday night?
So moved.
Motion by Councilor Wagner,
Second.
second by Councilor Holden. Discussion? Question?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
I'll vote yes. That is carried unanimously for Monday night.
Perfect. I also wanted to let you know things are moving along now and developing with the paid leave policy. Or the Minnesota paid leave, and I am developing a policy. That's what I should say. We are also required as an employer to send out employee communications for distribution by December 1st. So I'm still waiting to see what their monthly notice looks like so that we can get that out to all employees by then. But I should have a policy, to you in the next month or two. The recommendation from the league is that we still hold off, just that we don't know. And I don't know, did any of you hear, they were talking about doing a special session? I know it was for guns, but they can open it up to anything if they do a special session. And I haven't heard if they decided to move forward with that.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Okay, all right. So, I mean, potentially if they did that, they could talk about Minnesota paid leave is my understanding. I don't think they would, but they could. And then, safety committee still waiting for updates on the safety grant application. Any questions?
Questions from council?
The paid leave one now you're talking about is the FMLA paid leave?
Yes, they've renamed it.
Okay.
Minnesota paid leave is what they're calling it now, so MNPL.
Okay.
Yeah, but yes, exactly.
So we're waiting for grants for the cameras and
Yep, that is what.
Part of it.
Waiting to get back, waiting to get additional updates and information on that. See where that sits. He did tell me there should be some information coming out this weekend to watch for it, so.
Great. Thank you.
All right.
Next is our rental licensing report from Fire Marshal Baldwin.
Thank you, Mayor. In your packet, the rental licensing report for the month of August. Month of August is our renewal period. Renewals were sent out in June, and were due September 1st. So no inspections were completed in August. As of today, there's 4 landlords that haven't turned in their renewals for a total of 11 properties. All the rest have submitted their paperwork and their money to the city for renewal for 25-26. So that's probably the best year we've had since we started with getting compliance from everybody, getting everything turned in. So that was good. So as far as rental licensing, things are continuing like they have the last couple of years, and the process is, I guess, been established now, so people understand that they need to get that turned in on time. Because the very few properties we had last year, you know, there's a $100 fee plus a $500 late fee that's assessed to the rental property, so, that's, moving on. Any questions on that?
Are these 4 that you don't have, are they continually being, not doing it, or?
No, they've done it in the past, they
Okay.
just for some reason haven't turned them in yet this year, and we reached out to them and they said they're gonna get it turned in, we just haven't seen the paperwork.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, it's, you know, these properties that haven't been turned in were inspected last year, so it's, I'm assuming they just got overlooked and they'll get it in here in the next week or so.
Blight.
Blight report also in your packet, year to date, as you can see, I think we're moving on to the 4th or 5th page. As we started enforcing this, you know, we started out where we weren't getting a lot of compliance, but it's slowly been getting better. I had to turn the first property over to Chelsea, last week. That's a repeat offender that we've been having issues with. On that address, a lot of you guys are familiar with it, it's on 9th Avenue East and 15th Street. We're getting a lot of complaints from the neighbors on all 4 sides of it. And they just do enough, and then the next month they let it go again. So Chelsea's gonna work on that one. We do have a few that we're continuing to work with the property owners on, as long as they're showing, you know, making an attempt and slowly working on it. But other than that, we're pushing through, so. Questions on blight?
Questions?
You've had good success with Andy and the cutting of the grass.
Yeah, Andy's really good, you know, it's just with everything, the cost of everything continue to go up. And myself and Chief Manassa have had some conversations on way to try to streamline that process for some of these properties and, you know, the amount that's getting billed back to us, you know, because we have a lot of properties that are going tax forfeit. And he has reduced his lawn mowing rate for tax forfeited properties. But those ones are usually uncontested, there's nobody there, we're just going in and mowing these because they haven't forfeited yet, they're, you know, they're at the end of their 2-year, you know, tax forfeiture. So, you know, so we're trying to figure out a way to figure out if, you know, there's a way for us to do that internally, mow those tax forfeited ones to try to offset that cost, because it's a lot more expensive to have him do it. You know, he's usually, you know, depends on if he's got 1 or 2 guys, and, you know, very rarely do we see a bill for under $75. And it might take a half an hour, it might take 20 minutes, some of them. So we're trying to look at ways to save some money on that, you know, and it's just one of those things where some of them I've been trying to leave until they call. So we haven't been mowing them as routine, we've been letting it go a little bit longer, you know, so till the neighbor calls. But once they call, then they're mad, they're mad because it got to that point, you know, so
Yeah.
it's tough, so.
How many vehicles do you have in the impound lot?
11 right now. And they're all over their, I think we just sent the letters out a couple weeks ago notifying them of that. And most of them are not gonna be redeemed, so we're gonna have the ability to do something with them after. I mean, their time's pretty much up already. We just sent them their final notice. So there's, we'll be able to do some stuff there. And there are some other vehicles that we're working on that we're trying to figure out how to get to them, because since we sent the letter, property owners blocked them in. So there's multiple vehicles around them, or they're parking stuff, so you can't get to them. So, so yeah, there's still vehicles that will be going in there, so.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is our building official, Mr. Kelly Myers, with his monthly report.
Mayor and council, thank you. Not a whole lot to report this month. We've had quite a bit of activity, but it's all small projects. It's Labor Day hit, so it's fall, so actually the last few days have been pretty busy. They're actually picking up with a lot of the, now when people think they need to get the roofs done before the end of the year, we've actually picked up quite a bit. I think our numbers are right. We don't have those big projects. School stuff's getting closer all the time, we're kind of bouncing that around a little bit. Probably our next big thing is probably the water plant, and that roof's gonna be good at some point this month, so.
Fantastic. Questions for Mr. Myers? Thank you. At this point, we'll move to new business, and I'd like to invite Fire Chief EMS Director Manassa forward.
Thank you, Mayor.
Please.
I've been working with T-Mobile for the last couple of months, probably. Originated through Todd setting this appointment up for me here, but we got 2 quotes from T-Mobile. They're trying to kind of make a run into the public safety sector, and they're doing a really good job with what they're doing on their priority networks. So we're looking at that. They are building a tower up here. Actually, the tower's built. It'll go live on January 1st up towards the lake to give expanded coverage here. There's a couple things that I wanted to talk about. So the 2 quotes you have in front of you, there's a at the bottom of each page, there's a monthly service cost. One is $257 and one is $274. And then just above that number is the total hardware cost. And there's a drastic difference in the hardware cost. One's $98 and one's just about $3,200. And what I want to explain to that is, so each plan is the same as far as 2 phones, 2 iPads, and then the priority service line on those. And the difference is the internet connection, or the, what would create the Wi-Fi connection in the ambulances. So when we transferred over to our new operating software, kind of the last step in the pie for that, to make that system work, is Wi-Fi in the ambulances. So for the ambulance crew to originate or run, we need to have an internet service connection. We have to do something. The cheap end, the $98 one, is with a they have it as an Inseego Mi-Fi Pro 5G. And what the guy told me was, I think it'll work, was the words he said. The more expensive option is the Cradlepoint R98, which comes at a greater value or greater expense, but he said, I know that'll work. So that's the difference in these 2 quotes here. So a couple of the big advantages for the T-Mobile is, again, their public priority lines. So the 2 things that are appealing to us is there is no fee for Canada. It's considered local, so it doesn't matter if we hit a Canadian tower or not. There's no difference in phones, or the devices don't know the difference to that. The other thing with the priority network that they have set up for public safety is, down towards the bottom, so on the Mi-Fi, we get unlimited user, but we're also subject to what's called fair usage. So if that system is being bogged down or being used, we could get kicked off of that. So on the more expensive side, we get the first responder unlimited data router, which gets us through to the priority system. So what they do on the priority system that they do different than any other company, so you guys might have heard of FirstNet. AT&T runs FirstNet. Unfortunately, FirstNet covers 98% of the state of Minnesota. We're in the 2% that's not covered by FirstNet. What T-Mobile does different is their priority network, their backup defaults to satellite. So it's just like a satellite phone then. So as long as it reaches a satellite, it gets service. So they use the Starlink system. So when they drop service on their antennas, then they go to the Starlink system for a backup redundant system. So I am advocating for the more expensive side, and just for the known side of this, the equipment fee or the hardware fee would be split. Well, most of that would go on the ambulance side, other than the $400 for the iPads. The expenses in the antennas and the cradle points, so the hardware side of it. And then the monthly fee is, again, $20 more than the other setup. But that would be split between the 4 ambulances, and then so some would be on the ambulance side, some would be on the fire side. This is within our automation budget on both departments. We can make that work, so I would be asking to move forward the Cradle Point, the more expensive quote. I like the idea of guaranteed work instead of I think it'll work, but that's what I'd be advocating for.
I know what priority means, but if you could explain for some that may have a question.
So the priority on both the voice, text, and data, so if you're a priority, so if the system gets bogged down, the non-priority or the general public gets kind of kicked off the system, your phone will get, or your call will get dropped. The priority preemption makes sure that your phone call goes through and always goes through. So that's why they offer that for first responders. So a big part of where this started with cell phones and even the 800 megahertz or the Armor radio system was the I-35 bridge collapse in the city. So that's when we first really identified that in public as a problem, and we saw that as an issue. So that's where all of these things have kind of generated from, is that event. But that guarantees that the people that need the cell service or the phone service to run a call or something have that.
It's in the automation budget.
Yes. I will move.
Thank you, Counselor Taylor. Counselor Buller with a second discussion. Question? Go
Can I
ahead.
ask just one question, Mayor?
Yep.
So this hardware cost, that's a one-time cost?
That's a one-time, yes.
And then is there life on the phones, and how often do you have to buy a phone, or what, do you know what the future of them are with costs, or?
That I don't know. On the introductory side, you can see they waived, doesn't matter which plan we did, they did waive the cost of the phones and
See
the
that?
bulk of the iPads.
Mhm.
Again, the recurring cost is the difference of the 257 or the 274, but the
Okay.
hardware initial upfront cost is the big delineator.
Yep, okay, thank you.
And if there's, before we move to vote, I mean, we can bring more information, small things to the council meeting,
Certainly.
so. Question?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
I,
I'll vote yes. Thank you, chief.
Thank you.
Next is recommendations from Legislation and Land Use Committee. The first being the 2026 business license fee schedule, which would be a portion of the fee schedule, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Before we vote on that, or however we're going to do this, I want to point out, I don't think that, it's a Chelsea question. For the data request, going from 15 cents a page to $40 an hour for a 1 hour minimum for FOIA requests. I mean, I don't know what the law is. It doesn't seem reasonable because,
I can have the answer by council meeting, but I don't think I'll get it that fast.
okay.
Or I'll work on it while you're meeting.
Yeah, and it's, just so you know, the question wasn't designed to put you on the spot immediately. I guess, well, there has been, first of all, I want to point out, there's been a considerable amount of time spent on the fee schedule by staff and Counselor Wagner, and thank you. Some of it is outdated, and now hopefully it's brought up to where the realities of today are. So that would be my only question.
And I do believe there's some statutes that cover the fees, that what you can and can't, I mean, not like the pages, but, and a lot of it will be what they gotta do to get the info, right, hour-wise and stuff, but that would be answered in
Right.
statute, but this would be close. That's, nothing.
Oh,
I got nothing.
okay. Is the idea that we want to add this portion to the council meeting to approve
Yes.
next Monday?
Yes, because our thoughts were to implement these fees in 2026. We will be doing business license fees here come around the 1st of October. So in order to get these implemented into the system, we're going to have to send a few letters out. There's been a few changes. Additional information that's going to be required from the businesses, especially if you're a club, we're going to need to know memberships, things like that, to be able to get everybody licensed in time by the 1st of the year.
Okay.
We've been working on this since February of 2024, so
Yeah,
a
no,
lot of work has went
yes.
into it. by
Yes.
The Legislation and Land Use Committee, and I think we got a pretty good document here. And then the other departments' fees will be presented later this year.
And if there was something that came up, if we did add it to a council meeting, we could amend it.
Yep,
yes.
yes.
So with that being said, I would ask for a motion to add the new business license fee schedule to the next city council meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Counselor Holden.
Second?
Thank you, Counselor Wagner. Is there discussion? Please.
Yeah, so on the data request, why that's there is because the data requests are considerably amount of time that these people in the office have to do to get those pages to the
Right.
people. I get the 15 cents per page, but you've had hours-long data requests, am I right?
Yeah, so in the past, we did not have a data request fee, but we did have a paper copy fee, so that's what we were charging them, that, at least something, so they were being charged something.
Yeah.
But we recently had, 65 requests from one person, and it took us hours of many days,
Right.
of weeks. It took us over the 7-day requirement to get it done.
No, I understand, and there is, unless it's changed since I was involved in data requests, that, yeah, if it becomes too exhaustive or whatever, then you can charge by what the person makes now or whatever. But no, like but Chelsea will find those answers, I'm just going from what I remember. But like, yeah, these extensive ones where they gotta spend 3 hours, which also means, not that people aren't allowed to it, but then there's other things that aren't getting done. And
Takes them away from
then when they take the time, and next thing you know, the person says, oh, I changed my mind.
And that's what happened in the 65.
That's what happened with that one.
Yeah.
Well, two of them, we had two of them in the same week.
Wow,
Weeks' worth of work, and then they just
Jeez.
said no.
They didn't-
unreal.
Well, I mean, see three things happening. One, we can alleviate some of it by putting some things online. Granted, people still ask, where do I find it? I agree with you that if a request becomes burdensome, then it is at a cost to the taxpayers. But is what I definitely want to have a type of fail-safe on, is that if, we have citizen members, and if they want to come and get a page of data and pay $1.15 for something that's relatively elementary to find and doesn't have to be data mined, I don't see why they should be penalized for wanting to be engaged in the community. But in fairness, we have been getting those requests, so I see both sides of it.
We can charge actual time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, just looking through, City of Minneapolis charges 30 an hour and does 1/4 hour increments, and you are allowed to charge for demonstratable actual time collecting the data and that sort of thing. Maximum for the copies for a data request is 25 cents per page. We have only 15 cents a page, but they don't recommend flat fees. But I don't think we were really looking at a flat fee structure. There's an hourly basis.
Yeah.
Would maybe recommend doing 1/4 hour increments, but
Yeah.
So the law and advice states kind of what we just discussed, I think. So, thank you, Chelsea.
Did you want to make a recommendation for that, to stay as is, or?
I think we can discuss it at the meeting.
That's fine.
I will send you the law on it.
Question?
Aye.
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 I,
I'll vote yes. That is added to the next city council meeting. Thank you. Next is the long-awaited cannabis ordinance.
And you cough, that's classic.
Thank you to all involved in this process. Thank you to Chelsea, and thank you to Counselor Wagner. Yep. This predates my involvement by, I think, about a year. And there's a lot to digest or process, whatever the term is, with any ordinance. This one, I believe, was quite technical, and how this can all go on is laid out in different towns, and what the guidance from the state has been. So if there's just any discussion before we potentially move it to council, I'm actually going to pass it on to Counselor Wagner. That's fine.
So this was kind of a moving ball the whole time we did this. It changed, it seemed like, every week for a while there. And it got better after that, but at least this way we're there if someone comes to us and wants to start one of these.
There's a lot of pages of technical, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Can I add something? I did receive a call last week of someone interested. Yes, so, they have applied for, is it the OEM license through the state? And will be
Yep.
able to sell effective October 1st.
Did they get that license through the state?
They applied.
Yeah. So they gotta get that first.
Right.
Yeah.
And the deadline to apply was August 31st, and they applied.
Yeah.
And they did have a license previously, so we do have one on the radar. I mean, and they already have the business downtown, so.
Yeah. And Chief Koscheck also helped us with this too, what we needed for the police to, what they can do with the ordinance, so.
Thank you, chief.
I'd just like to thank him too, yeah, everybody involved, because he said it started that you could sell, you know, if they legalize it, but then there's a lot of changes since that first move.
Yeah.
That being said, I would motion this to council.
Thank you, Counselor Kaler.
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Bullard. More discussion?
Mayor, if I could just add a little bit. This is more for public knowledge, because probably very few people want to read this word for word. To try and understand it, this is very similar to what was approved by the county. So there's not a lot of changes that you need to look for in there. If anyone wants specifics on what might be a little bit different, they could certainly reach out to me. If they reach out to council and you want to offer that answer, I could provide it too. But it is very similar to what the county ended up approving. So we're not doing anything crazy here.
Yep.
And that's it.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Question?
Aye.
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 I'll vote yes. The cannabis ordinance language can be moved to the city council meeting. Thank you. Any other business or new business?
Yes, after our committee of the whole, I can just take care of this if you like, Mike, or if you want to come up. And Mike brought to my attention that the school has requested a temporary stop sign at 15th Street and 15th Avenue coming from the north. From the north, there's already 3 there. And because of the new pickup they're having temporarily with the construction to work with the traffic flow. Is that about it? Yeah. You should be familiar, Walt, that's right
Is
by
that
your
gonna be
house.
at where that sign used to be then?
Yeah, right on the,
As you're going,
it'll be a 3-way stop instead of a 2-way that they have there now. Right at that
yeah,
corner.
it'll be where the sign used to be before they put the one by my house then. That
Yep.
right,
Yep.
heading south, right on the corner of 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, just for,
That would work. That would
yeah,
give
for
them-
traffic flow
Yeah,
and the
that
kids
would
and,
Give the people that are going there to pick their kids up at least a
Yeah.
chance to get out without waiting
Yep.
and waiting and waiting and
Yep.
waiting until cars are done. Good. I move that we do it, or move to council, or whatever we gotta do.
Okay, for a temporary stop sign on 15th Street and 5th Avenue.
15th. But Falls Elementary there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll
Second?
second it.
Oh, go ahead.
Counselor Buller and Counselor Holden.
I see the importance there.
Yeah,
You know, I
no,
mean,
absolutely.
I watched the pickup and everything, and it's, yeah, much needed.
Discussion. Question?
Aye.
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 I'll vote yes, that can be moved to the next council meeting. Thank you. Any other business?
I have one.
Please.
Betty and Lisa, this person that contacted the 2 of them, there have been, throughout the entire process of the legislature updating and that sort of thing, there have been multiple deadlines. We do have one deadline coming up between October 1st and October 31st, like Lisa had mentioned, and that is the window that this particular person is looking to sit in. And part of their application process is they have to abide by any of the local requirements, like this one. If we don't have this in place, they kind of get licensed without this. So what Betty suggested is we have the first reading at the regular city council meeting coming up, and then add second reading to September 22nd 22nd, special city council meeting to push this through before that October 1st, October 31st window. So that it applies to unilaterally to all the businesses that'll be applying.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the so that'll be a new special city council meeting?
It can be added to that same special city council meeting as a separate agenda item.
Right, we had got done away with the ambulance one, though.
But I believe you guys were gonna be scheduling a special council meeting on that date to set your preliminary.
Yeah, for the budget.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That date.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna have one either way.
Yeah.
Got it. It doesn't matter,
So
but,
if indeed we do set it on that, that your preliminary budget for that date, we would be asking to add it on that date or have it on that date.
which is the 20 September.
9/22, yep, September 22nd. And the first reading of an ordinance has to be at a regular meeting, second readings can be at a special meeting.
Got it.
So we are still within compliance.
Okay. That, I don't think we need a motion to add that to the council meeting, because we'll already be reading it, so. Any other business? Please.
Would you want to give us an update on LEC?
Sure.
I know you and I have it.
That is a good question. So there'll be an addition, I believe, to the agenda tomorrow. There's a county board meeting. And take formal action, then proceed with the lease papers. This was all discussed at the last board meeting. So that's the update that I have.
Yep.
And so I guess my only question is, I mean, what could go wrong? Well, I guess we'll find out.
So, in other words, it's coming to us pretty soon.
Yeah, I think they need to formalize
Formalize it.
the lease offer, in which I think would probably just coincide with the draft agreement, which then we would give to Chief Koscheck and Attorney Nelson and Administrator Bergstrom and the council to review.
Probably be within the first part of October, probably, by the time everything,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that that's because they have two more meetings this
We've
week.
got 2 more meetings.
Okay. I got a question too. How are we doing on the ambulance deal? Any new news or?
Yes. I believe that was discussed at either a county board meeting or committee of the whole, and they are on, Commissioner Schobel and Roach are on the Rainier City Council meeting agenda this week and are approaching them about the ambulance service. I don't know that that means anything more or less than being on the agenda. I'm led to believe that they're going to ask for cooperation. But it's, time's marching on.
So they're on the agenda to speak to the Rainier City Council. Ricky Roach and Jason Schobel.
Correct.
Okay.
And I believe that they're intending to approach the council, obviously in person, and bring it up.
Okay.
But I mean, I know that we set a deadline, and I don't want to, I think we're gonna know by the atmosphere or the attitude how this is gonna go. And I don't know what the appetite of the council's gonna be, but I don't think we can get led down a path that ends not to bear fruit. So.
Right.
That's,
Thank you.
Yeah.
you bet.
Yeah,
That's everything that I know, I have shared. Not a lot. We'll probably, see on KCC TV the outcome of, the meeting, or one of our, or all of our phones will ring.
Yes.
Probably all of them, or an email, who knows?
Yeah.
Any other business? Counselor
One more.
Wagner.
So, myself and Counselor Kaler are part of this Cary Park thing. So, who are we talking to? Do we, anybody,
It would be,
Jared, do you got any idea who's gonna talk with us, or?
Yeah, we got a group that we put together, from the board, so we have a meeting. And I can finalize it and send it to you, or text you, but our next meeting is 24th, so a couple weeks. But we can meet before then if we need to, or.
Well, no, we were just wondering who.
Yeah, Josh Bashakis is our president, and he'll be the main contact with you guys.
Okay,
So I can, if you guys don't mind, I can give him your phone number, and you can start a little group text or something. And you can kind of schedule a first meeting or something with him.
yeah, either
Yeah.
that, he can also reach out to Betty or
Okay.
Lisa too, and we can figure out when
Yep.
we're available.
I'll just have him, he's communicated with Betty in the past, so I'll just have him go through Betty, and you guys can work through that.
Yeah,
that'll work.
that'll work.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other business? Moving on, boards, commission reports, airport commission with Counselor Buller and Holden.
We're doing good.
No,
How's that? The airport commission?
the construction has gone well this summer, and I think they probably have most everything wrapped up already. I know they were talking about lining up the markings, or the runway markings and stuff would be the last thing, so I haven't checked lately, but everything has been moving along there with our projects. They're doing good, so.
Engineering, everything's been good. And the way it's looking, when everything gets done with another runway, you probably know the number on that runway, but when it's done, we're probably gonna be good for 25 years, so that's huge. Yeah. Right, Walt?
Yeah, there's 900 feet left on that first runway. That was not old enough to do at the time they did the runway, so it is now, I guess, for next year, so
Yeah,
that'll wrap it up.
so that'll wrap it up for a long time.
Understand. Thank you. Kita, I will lean on Counselor Kaler.
Nothing really since the last meeting that's gone on. We're going to Big Falls in October. Other than that, everything, getting ready for cold weather testing to get fired up here and getting lined up, and it sounds like they got quite a full calendar out there.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll be having a special EDA meeting here, which has been a big part of,
Yeah, the key that, yes, for those that, to talk about the warehouse project and extending the date for the purchase and whatnot.
North Cooch, again, Counselors Buller and Holden.
Well, we have our new board established. Bob Peterson is the added member to the East Cooch Board. And we have added an at-large, had put out for applications. We only had one application, that's Brian Briggs, so he's at-large, so he'll be attending the council meetings in Rainier to represent them, and also the East Cooch ones to represent them, and also our board. So he'll be representing all of them. So that has been established now. We have a budget meeting tomorrow to try to get numbers to the city if there's increase or whatever, so that can get into our budget here too. So we're gonna meet there tomorrow, and then otherwise, yeah, it's good. Flows our way down.
Thank you, Counselor Buller. Any other business before Committee of the Whole is adjourned and we move on? Seeing no further business, this meeting is adjourned.